Father Christmas, Saint Nick, Santa Claus, call him what you will, the man clearly works hard and gets around a lot. I saw him in Africa when I was working in Uganda last year, and I bought this little Christmas decoration. I thought it was kind of cool. The point is, he clearly gets around the world, and he has to do it all in one night on Christmas Eve. And it's got me thinking, how can he do it? Not just on a practical level, but how can his body physically deal with the pressure of having to go all the way around the world in one night? That's going to be quite a strain for his body. So in this episode, we're going to try and figure out how he avoids altitude sickness when he's flying around the world on his sleigh. A couple of assumptions, which are based on pictures I've seen of him. It doesn't look like his sleigh has a pressurised cabin, and it doesn't really look like he wears an oxygen mask. Obviously, there's a question about how the reindeer deal with it as well, but I'm a doctor, not a vet. So first of all, let's talk about altitude generally. The problems for your body caused by altitude are caused by changes in pressure. Probably the easiest way to imagine it is an empty bottle on an aeroplane. You screw the lid on the empty bottle when you're at ground level. You take it on the plane and the plane goes in the air. Commercial planes have pressurised cabins, they keep the pressure in to some degree, but the pressure still reduces, so the example works. So the bottle contains air that you breathe at ground level. 21% oxygen and the rest of it's mostly nitrogen. Black is nitrogen, it's inert, it doesn't do anything. You breathe it, it makes up most of the gas, but you don't use it. It basically just sits around and it's there as part of the pressure. We'll get to that in a sec. The pressure on the outside at ground level is exactly the same. That's about right. Now, as you get higher, the pressure in the atmosphere drops. When you get to about 5,500 metres in the air, the pressure is about half as much. That looks about right. Now, the issue you can see is that the pressure in the bottle is a lot more than the pressure outside. Remember that the bottle is contained. If the bottle wasn't contained, if we took the lid off, half of the gas in there would essentially come out in order to equal. But because it's contained, there is pressure from the inside trying to push the bottle out. Like this. And this is one of the problems at altitude. Think of the confined spaces within your body. Your ears are probably the best example. There's naturally a pocket of air on the inside of your ear, and that connects with the rest of your airways through a tube that opens and closes, a bit like the lid coming on and off. If the tube is closed, then the pressure builds up on the inside, and that's what causes pain. When the tube opens, that's like taking the lid off the bottle, some of the pressure can be released, that's when you get the crackling sound, and that's what eases the pain. If for any reason the tube is stuck, you won't be able to take the lid off the bottle, there'll be more pressure, and that's when it'll be more painful. You'll get a similar problem anywhere else in your body where there are pockets of air stuck, so in your sinuses, and obviously in your guts as well. There's gas in your gut, that'll expand, and you can figure out the problems that that'll cause. We can still use this diagram and look at it in a slightly different way, and it'll tell us something a bit more about the oxygen levels at altitude. Imagine this bottle is one of your lungs. The dots in it represent the amount of air that you will get in your lung when you're at ground level. The arrows aren't really applicable to this. That's how much air you're used to getting, that's how much air you're built to get. Obviously, your lungs aren't closed bottles with a lid, we're breathing in and out all the time. So when you go up with altitude, it's like the lids come off. And in the same way as we get the reduced air pressure, so we get less nitrogen molecules and less oxygen molecules pressing on the bottle, we'll get less on the inside of the bottle because it's open. So you'll have half as much air in your lung. That means that there won't be as much oxygen to absorb. That means you can run into problems. So what problems, what altitude, and how can Father Christmas get round it? I hope you find these videos interesting. If you are doing, remember, click the like button, subscribe to the channel and share the links. I'll see you tomorrow.